Welcome to Peter and Jase Spoken. It's this is episode 3.
And we're exhausted.
Yes.
Flat out.
But Jason insisted on filming tonight.
I did.
It's our story. It's a love story. It's a medical story. I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. 7 weeks into a relationship. And Jason, your diagnosis?
I was diagnosed with major mental illness, schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. And that's what we're trying to document. We're trying to document our lives together, our lives before we came together.
And that's where I think we should start. I think you should start with your life of living with schizophrenia and bipolar. And what was it like and how dark it was?
It was very dark. And now it's light, thank God. It's funny, I'm a little reluctant. Peter and I have talked about this. I'm a little reluctant about going back there. It's not like I block it out of my mind or it's gone. It's not gone. That part of my life, those, it was like 30 to 35 years of a lot of problems. My life is so different now. It's so good.
Well, you're tell the story about the doctors when you got diagnosed with the doctor's section.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to tell you a story that I haven't really told anybody in a while.
Did you tell me?
I haven't told you this.
So it's brand new.
It's brand new.
Unspoken.
Brand new. It's going to feel like it's unspoken.
Yeah.
It was unspoken before, and now it's spoken. I got thinking about this before. I remember being discharged from Ellis Hospital, okay? After I'd been there for almost, 5 days a week. I don't know how long it was. It was a big blur to me. I was discharged, and I was waiting for Mom and Dad to come and pick me up. And the nurse came in and she sat down with me. This is at the psychiatric ward in Ellis Hospital. And she sat down with me and she went over my things and she gave me the stuff, my clothes and stuff like that to return back home with. And I think I just asked her, I was like, so what's my diagnosis, bipolar? And she said, yeah. And I said, why was I hallucinating and stuff like that? And she said, oh, that's the schizophrenia. And I said, what?
So no one told you it's schizophrenia?
Nobody told me.
Oh my God.
That was the moment that I found out. And my heart dropped. I was okay with being bipolar because I kind of thought I was at that point for like about a few months before I went into the hospital. I pretty much felt like I was bipolar, so I had time to prepare for that. Schizophrenia, that part of it, no, I had no idea, and I had no idea how I was going to tell anybody. I had no idea how I was going to have a life, have any kind of life, much less inevitably having this life with this man. And the beauty and the magic that's happened in our lives in the short amount of time that we've had in the last 5 months. I had no idea. I had no idea about any of it, of course. And that's a very scary place. So if you're in a very scary place right now and you don't know what your future is going to be, that's okay. It's okay. Doesn't mean it's going to be bad. You can turn it around.
And Jason, God bless him, has been doing motivational speeches about his schizophrenia and bipolar and how he's come to this professional, educated man telling the public how to live with such an awful diagnosis. And that's where we kind of came up with this.
Yeah.
was
because we're both dealing with awful diagnoses, typically awful diagnoses.
And we're both like, hey, wait, let's add on to your story. I think it was like, let's add on to your story.
Yeah.
It was like, because I remember
it's our story.
Going to listen to one of his lectures.
Yeah.
Which was beautiful. It brought tears to my eyes. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And I was like, oh my God. And then coming back together after our timeout. Mm-hmm. So you have to watch the other episodes if you don't know what timeout means. You have to watch the 2 other episodes.
It's a euphemism.
Realizing we had a story to tell.
Yeah.
A lot, you know.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I know, like, my friends and my coworkers kept saying, oh my God, you gotta write a book, you gotta write a book. Because all these bizarre things. I mean, who would fall in love, get cancer? I mean, you take care of me, we break up, we get back together, stronger than ever a month later. Yeah. And here we are on YouTube telling our story. And that's just a chapter.
That is.
It's not the 50 other chapters that we're going to about to tell.
This is a big story.
And me knowing Jason telling me, I think on this, no, it wasn't, you didn't tell me on the first day, you told me on the phone like 2 or 3 days later about your diagnosis. And I'm a registered nurse, so I was like, well, he has it together. And I always believed in people can heal themselves. So I really wasn't like, oh my God, my boyfriend has schizophrenia and bipolar. Because I do deal with a lot of mental illness at home.
But what was that like for you? It's not every day somebody first of all, that you're in a relationship.
It's not every day. Hi, by the way, it's schizophrenia and bipolar. You're like...
Right. So honestly, like, you must have had some mixed feelings at some level. Like,
I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And that was wrong of me.
Well, I think it's normal, hon.
You know, because I was like, oh, they're going to judge. Everyone's going to judge.
I get it.
And it's funny because...
That's why a lot of people that are dealing with mental health things don't reveal their own personal diagnosis to other people.
And then after the timeout, you know, when I told people that we broke up, and I told them the truth, and not one person judged. Not one person judged. Which I said, oh my God, that was wrong of me hiding it. First of all, that was a big epiphany for me.
Okay.
I was like, oh my God, I was hiding a man I love. Here he is motivationally speaking all over New York State. And I'm hiding it from everyone. You know, when you're well. So it woke me up to say, no, I should be proud of you.
Oh, baby.
And I am. I mean, look at you. Yeah. So it's like, I am proud of you.
I love you.
I mean, it's remarkable. And living proof, you know. And that's why Jason was one of the ones that helped me, saying you can do this, you can fight cancer.
Yeah.
And
not knowing originally that the same diet would work for 2 separate things, but work equally effectively.
Yes.
You know, like, what are the odds?
And Jason is on a very low dose of medication. It's not even therapeutic, I don't think. And when I met him, he's on this diet, you know, where no carbohydrates, no sugars. And he was trying to get me motivated. And even after getting diagnosed, I was like semi there, but I'd make salmon, but then I'd put French fries on the plate with it.
I remember that.
And after the day you walked out the door, the next day I fully went on that diet. And I was able to cure my side effects from chemotherapy. And when you saw me a month later, you're like, oh my God, look at you. I lost 24 pounds. That's from the cancer and chemo. And part of the diet, but initially it was the cancer. And but my emotional well-being from that diet, I felt like I could see clearly. And that's what a part of this is all about, is It's a great story.
Mind, body, spirit.
Mind, body, spirit. It's The
Affects two
Secret,
people
the book.
separately.
If anybody's read The Secret of Power, they're motivational books, which I've lived by before they even came out. That's how I lived my life. I wish and think and forget about it.
Yeah.
And I made things happen. And we're that times 1,000.
Yeah. Because what are we doing with the cancer now, babe?
We
We're
believe
not
it's gone.
We're not even thinking
It's not
about
there.
it. We're not giving it
It's gone.
energy. We're not giving it energy. And Peter
I feel like $1 million.
looks like $1 million, acts like $1 million.
Compared to before.
Yeah.
And even Lisa said at work today, one of the nurses I work with, she goes, I don't believe you. Look at you. How, you know. She goes, Petey, 3 months ago, I was worried about it.
Yeah.
I was so sick. And she looked at me today, she goes, I don't know how you worked. I don't know how I worked either.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
And the power of believing,
Yeah.
having faith. Faith, hope, love. Those are 3 things. My Facebook page says it. Faith, hope, love. You have to believe in it. You have to believe in yourself and believe in everything else. And so, we're here to discuss cancer, mental illness. And it's a beautiful ending.
And it's ultimately because you might not have mental illness, you might not have cancer, and I hope you don't. We hope you don't. But if you do, or if you're dealing with something else entirely different, the point of this is you can change your life for the better. No matter what you're dealing with, even worst case scenarios.
We all go through life so quickly. We all, like me, I'm always climbing the ladder, doing something. And we never stop to smell the roses and say, God. And last night, all of a sudden, it was so weird. It was like all of a sudden there were fireflies.
Yeah.
Off our master bedroom.
All
the trees were fireflies. And I said, Jason,
gorgeous.
I hadn't seen fireflies since I was a kid.
And the stars were behind them.
Yeah. And I said to him, I said, Jason, we're there. We have it all.
Yeah.
This is what we wished for.
Right.
Months prior, we wished to fall in love with the man, not a man. I remember praying. And I'm very spiritual. And I remember, God, it must have been no time or I said, God, please, send me the man, not a man. And I believed in it.
That made all the difference.
And it happened. And it's funny, so last night we were sitting on the patio, and we were like, it's here.
Yeah.
We did it. We got it. And we just begun.
And it was a dreamlike moment.
It was.
It was a dreamlike moment.
So dreams do come true. Even with cancer and schizophrenia.